Okay, I think we're live. And been kind of playing around with the idea. As I said yesterday, I've been playing around with the idea of actually naming the show that because I'm pretty sure that that's how I've started out every damn show. Not intentional either. It's just I really didn't know if I really haven't known if I've been live when I've started these things out ever because I am technologically not inclined. Okay, so I didn't even really prepare for this, and I didn't even really send too much of a notification. So I'm not going to apologize for the tech issues because I wasn't late. Can't be late if you don't schedule something. Anyways, a couple firsts today, and you're looking right at it. One, this is probably the first time that anybody's ever talked about wrestling on a wrestling podcast while wearing a basketball jersey. This is a John Stockton jersey that I found in my mom and dad's shed. Somebody must have left it there at one of our parties that we threw. Probably, I don't know if it would have been me and Justin or Shay and Brennan, but we live out in the country and we kind of had the hangout spot. And we get cool stuff like this that people leave behind sometimes, probably 5 years ago. Um, and it's also the first time I've ever worn a basketball jersey. So before you start getting too harsh on me, uh, okay. Also, I want to start out by saying this: all the stuff, all these videos that you see are funded by stars. So whoever sends the most stars wins a highly coveted free Pindox T-shirt. These are hot items, man. I've sold like 4 in 18 months. People just go crazy over them. Um, I've actually got my brother Shay. I just hit him up about 10 minutes ago. I hit up like 4 people. He was the first person to bite. Uh, he's going to be calling in pretty soon. I don't know what we're going to really talk about. He doesn't have anything planned either because he didn't even know that this thing was going on until 10 minutes ago. Um, but Shay and I can talk all night forever. Should be okay. Let me know how everything's coming in. This is my first time using this headset and this microphone. Yesterday, I was using this one. Heaven forbid when I start getting to these big, fat, goofy looking ones that I can't even find right now. And I know it seemed like a little bit ago I couldn't even quit tripping over them. Now I can't find them when I want it. All right, so send some stars and you'll get a free T-shirt, and you'll also make me very, very happy because that's how I'm providing for my family. Also, if some of you guys have been wondering why has this crazy psycho been going all out with the live videos the last week and a half or 2 weeks, he's never done that before. Is there a reason? Is there something in it for him? Well, of course there is, and I'll fill you in as to why there's so much pressure on me to go live all the time. So Facebook has like 3 or 4 different monetization programs and that you can qualify for. One is the become a support the subscription. Everybody's a huge fan of that. That has been so hard to promote. One is the subscription stuff. Another is the stars, and another is the live in stream ads, which essentially means that you'll get paid for doing these live shows because they'll put up little advertisements for you. I don't have to I don't have to contact any business owners or anything. I don't have to do any work, because I hate doing that stuff. I hate selling ads. I did that for like 6 months once. I was really good at it, but I hated it. Social anxiety, just ugh. But I'll show you why I have so much pressure to go live all the time. And I'd like to thank all of you guys for being patient with me while I stumble my way through this learning process. This will probably actually be, even though I don't necessarily, even though going live or doing videos isn't necessarily my favorite thing to do, it'll probably be a recurring thing because one of the reasons that I've been putting all this stuff off is because I haven't wanted to take the plunge and gasp, learn technology. Um, but hey, man, I've actually been in a position the last couple of weeks where I've had to learn it, and I think I might have I may have a lot of that stuff over with. So it'll be a lot easier for me to gain motivation to go live and do all this stuff. The stuff about me actually not liking the sound of my voice and not liking my big fat face when I watch it, that stuff will never cease. But the hard part as far as the tech stuff. I think I got that under control. All right, so let me know how I'm coming in as far as audio. Do you like the setup here? I usually set my light to like a little bluish tint, and I don't really have it really that light. I don't know. I like it. Anyways, I will show you why this monetization thing has just got me totally stressed out, and why it's forced me to be in a position to where I have to go live all the time. All right, let me fix this up a little bit. All right, let me know how well you can see that. That picture right there is the Facebook. No, I can't think of the word. The Facebook qualifications for once I reach these milestones, I will be eligible for being able to monetize off of live ads on Facebook. And one of these categories, I mean, I've just knocked it out of the park. You have to have a minimum of 10,000 followers, which I've got 41,000 followers. I can't even believe that. It's crazy. I've really never been too proud of myself for too many things in my life, but man, this Pin Doctor stuff is kind of it's kind of testing me a little bit. I just sometimes can't believe it's me. Anyways, in the last 60 days, you needed a total of six. Oh, okay. To start, I'm not eligible yet. I don't qualify for being paid for live ads on these shows. But I can if I meet the following criteria. I've already got 10,000 followers. That was easy sauce. But there's two other criteria that I'm way short on. But I think I'm doing okay with, considering I've only been chipping away at it for like 5 to 10 days, and I've got 60 days to do it. So in the last 60 days, you needed a total of 600,000 on demand, live, and previously live minutes viewed, including replayed minutes, but not including boosted, cross posted, or paid watch time. I've got 200 and some thousand out of 600,000 minutes combined with all of you guys out there that have watched my live stuff. Pretty crazy. But I'm not even close to being there yet. I've got about 400,000 more minutes to go. So, with that said, like if you're wondering yesterday why I asked you guys, hey, if you want to tune out of this podcast, can you at least leave your phone running? So the reason I asked that is because that would give me some more minutes so I can get to that 600,000. And here's the hard part. At least 60,000 minutes of the 600,000 total eligible minutes viewed in the last 60 days must be live videos. Okay, so I had that switched around. The first one was just regular videos. I need 600,000 general minutes viewed for regular videos, but 60,000 of those 600,000 minutes have to be live videos. So that's why I feel so much pressure to go live all the time. So hopefully you guys have a little bit better understanding of that. And if I've gotten you all to feel sorry for me now because of it, I just like to take this time to say, please send me some stars. You'll win a free t-shirt. All right. So my brother Shay is on the ball and looks like he's calling in already. Let me get him on.
What's up?
Yeah, there we go, right there. Let me remove this slide and set it up. Hey, look at my tech savvy ass.
Let's go. You got a headset now?
I do. Top of the
Let's
line.
go.
$20.
You said you got it online for what?
I said top of the line. It was like $20.
Oh, that's actually really sick. Where did you get it at Walmart?
I got it at Best Buy the night that we had a live thing with. Who was that with? Byron Tate.
Gotcha. Actually, I think I remember you talking about that.
Mm.
That's cool. I like that set. I can hear you like a lot. I mean, you're resonating like so much better than like other lives with that thing.
Well, that's weird because I can barely hear your ass. Let me turn you up a little bit and see if that works a little better.
Really?
Hey, there we go. There you go. That's good.
Okay, a little
I
better.
had to move it from 4 to 8. My God, my speakers are sensitive. Imagine if I had that at 100.
Yeah.
But why are you wearing why are you wearing a Fairfield shirt
All
Not
right.
that I have anything against Fairfield. I've got some
Uh,
friends from Fairfield. Seth Davison.
so my girlfriend coaches. She coached a 16U team for Fairfield Attack, which is Cardinal, Fairfield, and Davis counties. Basically travel team for volleyball. So yeah, it's got her last name on the back of it. It's a shirt that she ordered for me, so it's kind of threw her on, and that's what we're rolling with right now.
So you're wearing, okay, let me see. It's a volleyball shirt or track?
Volleyball,
Attack. That's why I thought it was track.
Fairfield Attack.
So you're wearing a volleyball shirt.
Yeah.
I am wearing a John Stockton jersey.
Let's go.
You can tell Trey that it's mine now. He'll have to wrestle me for it. You know, he might be a little bit better shape than me, but I've got at least 500 pounds on him. Trey Hexagon was a national qualifier NAIA for Graceland, and that's whose jersey this is. Finders keepers, buddy. He's gonna be pissed, isn't he?
Oh, and I doubt it. You might request for it back, though.
Better not.
What's up, Kaya?
So, Shay, we're going to talk. Actually, you've got some pretty big news. You're a year or two into your teaching career and coaching career for that matter, and you've already assumed the role of a head coach.
Yes, sir.
Cardinal. You know, I grew up, Cardinal was always in our conference in the Southeast Iowa Super Conference, and I always liked them because, you know, as a little kid, you don't understand the differences between different towns and whatnot. I just figured that since these guys were Cardinal, how could I root against them since we're St. Louis Cardinals fans?
Yeah. I feel that.
And, you know, this is a program that has needed something exciting like this for a long time. Not that, you know, I'm not trying to sound like, hey, we're the Swaffords, we're saving you. But come on, you're like, I'm posting videos of you all the time. I'm bringing a lot of attention to you. You're doing a great job, Shay. I don't think anybody that watches your stuff can disagree with that. They have to be thrilled with it. And you're not shy, so you'll go out and you'll actually try and recruit guys to go out.
Yeah.
Dude, they landed a good one. And everybody that denied you in the application process before Cardinal, they lost one, man. They missed out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Just talking about that whole process, you know, very frustrating in nature. You know, I probably got denied, like, I probably did 12 different job interviews before I got the Cardinal one offered to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, I was getting to a point where I was like really frustrated with the process of it. You know, is anybody gonna hire me? You know, to me, I felt like I was marketable, I was valuable, but I don't know. It just stinks when everybody's telling you no. Like you lack experience, you lack this, you lack that. After a while, I feel like objection or rejection kind of wears on you, starts getting to your head, and it really was with me. And then Cardinal offered me the job. It was a good gig. You know, I knew I was gonna have my work cut out for me as far as like rebuilding stuff, and it, I don't know. I'm glad I ended up where I'm at right now, because I really like my life over here. It's a great work environment. And just on top of that, man, I get to do what I love the most, and that's coach wrestling. And, you know, they've given me an early opportunity with that, and it's been great. It's not like Cardinal hasn't had good coaches in the past.
Yeah.
I feel like I am the most passionate one that's come through. You know what I mean? And that's no like knock on anybody else. It's just what I'm doing right now is getting the ball rolling, and it's just really good to see. And we're just gonna continue on with all of that. So I appreciate your recognition with that, because it's
hey.
Yeah, sometimes you know, there's dark nights, you know, sometimes where it's just like, you know, it's just like anything else. I feel like it's like, you know, growth isn't linear. It's like you feel the ups and downs, and the downs are like really like, man, am I like wasting my time? You know what I mean? But then you have people coming through like you that are giving me the intention, or you have.
Yeah, you're lucky you have a crazy brother.
Yeah, and then you have the results that are coming through, and it's just like, okay, just got to remind myself of what I've got in mind. Just keep chasing that vision. You know.
People don't realize this, but the Pin Doctors was sparked. It was sparked and fueled at first by a lot of anger. I was very angry when I started this thing, and it was a nice little way to vent my anger. And it's, I'm happy now, and
Yeah.
I'm still venting my anger on Pin Doctors all the time.
It's kind of funny. I feel like at the same rate that your like career with this has transcended, so is mine. Like a lot of lessons learned, a lot of failure, but a lot of success.
Brennan won an NAIA, and I can't ever say NAIA. He won an NAIA title the year that I started it.
It doesn't sound right,
Wish they would change it to like NAIAAIAI. Oh, no, that doesn't work either. All right, so let's get to some important things real quick. Dude, Shay, I want you to find that picture. That collage I made? One of you guys sent me pictures of you guys downloaded an app that produces a girl version of your face, and I made a collage of us four. It's like, which Swafford sister is the hottest? I was looking for that because I wanted to do something funny tonight. I'm not really feeling a whole lot of wrestling right now. I'm trying to put myself into it. I'm gonna love it when I reach a point to where I'm able to support myself with this thing, because I spend all my damn time doing it. But then I would be able to chill a little bit, I feel like I'm rushing everything and doing a ton of stuff all the time at once because I feel like I have to, because I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out how to. I'm not able to support my family on it, but I know that I can. How can't you with I don't know.
Yeah. You're at like the hardest point in any sort of like beginning of something, like starting a business, starting a career, starting anything, I feel like it's just like building a house, you're at the foundational phase, and it's the most important, because without a foundation, guess what happens to the house?
Mm-hmm.
It falls down, right?
It's true.
So you're just like everybody else that's taken the leap. You're creating a foundation. You're trying to you're learning things. You're making mistakes, learning from your mistakes, and that's just kind of how it's going to be for a while, until you catch your groove and you're able to like finally build the house.
Mm-hmm.
So just like I told you from the very beginning, like we've had some pretty deep conversations about.
Well, you've been here since the actual start. Like,
yeah, when we were like,
remember when I named this thing Rex Wrestling? The wrestling
like
flex.
20 different names.
That's why I have my logo as a flex. The wrestling flex. Those lasted like a day apiece before I was like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, you're like, what was it, like Rex Flex?
Swaz Wrestling? Swag Wrestling?
Oh God,
dude.
Yeah.
The Pin Doctors. No, why did it take me so long to settle on that one? It's perfect.
I don't know. We're all throwing ideas out there, and it didn't take you that long. I mean, it was like a week.
How many names did I have at first that before we started eliminating them? Yesterday I said about 200 or 300. I told Tony Hager that once, and he was like, "What?" Like,
I don't think it was. I mean, maybe by the time we threw, even like, because like some of the things I was even throwing out was like ridiculous. Like, there's no way it's gonna be, but it would be funny.
I hate naming things.
This
is called I think I'm gonna name this podcast I Think We Are Live.
I think we're live.
Yeah, just think it's funny because I'm so stupid with technology. That's what I say when I start out every episode.
Yeah.
So I mean, that'd be a good. That's really like consistent with what my catchphrase is to this point.
I like it.
It's not bad. It's original, I guess. Even though kind of simple and stupid. But all right. But yeah, do you remember how freaking like off my rocker I was when I was trying to name this thing? And the guys that knew about it were you, Shay, you, Brennan, and Justin, and only one person that was not my brother. That was JJ Buttress. He was going
JJ
to do some
Buttress
like,
was involved with this.
oh yeah, yeah. Every text message that you guys had got from me when I from in my group text, he was getting the same ones. I drove him fucking. I'm pretty
You're
sure
just
I drove
copy
him
and
nuts.
pasting, copy and pasting.
And JJ is a very nice guy, two-time state champ. He and I go way back. He beat me, but he's a man of few words. And this is before I even started this thing. I don't even think he realized that I had it in me to type a lot of stuff. And he's getting all these damn long texts and like 100 a day. Where I'm like, "What do you think of this name? What do you think of this name?" And he's, I bet from that moment on, he's probably just like, that guy either is crazy and I didn't know it, or he's just spazzing out. Which really, my, I was going through a divorce when I started it. I was wanting something to alleviate my state of mind at the time. That, and I was trying to create any opportunity possible to get out of factory work. I went to college, got my bachelor's degree in psychology. That was not a good choice. Factories pay more than you do with a degree in psychology. Oh, but you should just go get your master's. Yeah, okay, I'll go get my master's so I can earn $5,000 to $10,000 more a year than I was making with a bachelor's, and still be making less than I would at a factory, and have $100,000 more student loans.
Yeah.
Why do we even have a program if these teenagers aren't equipped to understand these things? They don't understand the concept of longevity, the long run. When I made that decision, I remember thinking to myself, I always find a way. I always figure something out. It'll be fine. Well, I'm 40 years old, and here I am. And actually, it's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah. I think the problem with a lot of degrees is just the lack of communication with all of it. And I think there's a reason. I think there's a reason why they don't communicate with you, like what you're going to be getting paid, what the long term of everything's going to be. Just because colleges are concerned about one thing and one thing only. It's the money that you're going to pay them. Mm-hmm. So that's why, and a lot of these jobs, the problem is, we've almost pushed the idea with college, I feel like, so much that none of the jobs that are associated with college really anymore are valuable. Let's think about psychology. How many psychology majors are there? A ton.
Tons.
There is a ton of psychology majors.
I should have majored in
that. It's just like supply and demand, right? When the supply is high, all right, the price of that product is going to be low. Same thing with jobs, right? So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the more psychology majors there are out there, the more replaceable, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, that you guys are. And then the more you guys get overlooked, the less you guys get paid in turn, because again, you are easily disposable. What's cheaper? What's cheaper? I mean, I was just this is gonna sound so I've been tanning recently because I'm gonna go to Washington D.C. here in like a month.
Well, you're gonna go past the border state. I've only done that once in my life.
Yeah, so I'm going to Washington D.C. We are gonna go on the beach for like 3 days, and my only goal going there is I do not want to get, but I don't want my skin to get fried and to just ruin the whole entire thing for me.
Oh, you're not able to ignore a sunburn?
I can't do it, dude. It's like I get like 2nd-degree burns. It's terrible.
Yeah, but just think about the cool tan you're going to have when it peels off.
Dude, I mean,
spend 7 or 8 months being a polar bear like me. You learn to appreciate the sun.
Anyway, that's why I'd rather not get like completely fried. I'd rather like ease my way into it. So I've been hitting the tanning beds, but I was looking up there for like what do you call it? The goggles that you have to wear when you go into the tanning beds. And
I've never known what those were called. Goggles,
I noticed that the disposable goggles are free, but then like the ones that are like more high tech are obviously like they cost a little bit more. Same thing. Like I feel like you can relate just something as simple as that. You relate that to jobs. You relate that just to like life in general. So things that are like more disposable are just going to pay less. And I just feel like that's the case with like so many different degrees in college, psychology, even education in some regards, like what I'm doing right now. Right. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing unless I loved it, But yeah, I'm glad.
Do
I'm
you
glad.
remember? Sorry.
I'm glad that you're kind of finding your knack with this, man. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool to see and just like be a part of. And
Well, the cool
minor.
thing is I got in a lot of student loan debt at Loras College, and I got a psychology degree to show for it. I did work in the field for 6 years as a service coordinator, internal business auditor, and intensive psychiatric rehabilitation practitioner for 6 years. So I am familiar with the field. I'm familiar with how little you get paid when you max out, and I'm also familiar with just other things in the field. Um, and I'm not going to really get into that whole lot because then you start towing the line of HIPAA. But I will say this: I don't feel like I'm never going to have that feeling like my college degree or my college education was for nothing, because I
Mhm.
feel like I implement all of that stuff into the Pin Doctors. Um, I don't know, just the way I approach the entire thing. The Remember the Wrestler, all those questions are stuff that I would ask somebody in a therapy session with me, and I don't know if it's worked for other people, but I don't know. Reading all these stories and comments from people uh, who have felt the same way, have experienced the same things that I did, that I can relate to. I don't know. It's really helped me. It's really helped me become able to cope with my shortcomings in wrestling, because I don't think that I ever had successfully coped with all that um, prior to starting this thing. I can honestly say I am 100% content with what my wrestling career was. It was littered with shortcomings, some self-imposed, some not. I mean, I had hip dysplasia, didn't know it. That sucked, or that
Mhm.
sucks. Dad didn't know it. Um, but oh, I got sixth at state. I never won a state title. Who cares? Who cares? I was so close to getting caught on my back and pinned at districts by this kid from Washington named Adrian Meyer. I've never talked about this because it makes me nervous to think about. First round at districts, I put a leg in. I was up like 6-0, and I hadn't been to state yet. I only made it to state once, and I placed once. And senior in high school, districts, first round, I'm like 6-7-0 against this big, strong dude named Adrian Meyer. Dangerous as hell. Ugh, I hated wrestling him. I always beat him by 7 or 8 points, but always gave me a scare. Anyways, I put a leg in, and he grabbed my head when I was on top.
Um.
And I'm not kidding you when I say that I felt my shoulders hit the mat for at least I thought it was 2 seconds. If that referee was in position and he would have called a pin, it wouldn't have been a bad call. I was so close to not being a state qualifier. I'm not going to sit here and bellyache about being a state placer. You know,
Mhm.
I think what really bothered me after it was all said and done is I was very good at the youth level, and placed basically every year at AAU state. That's another one, AAU, NAIA, AAU. And
It's the
I
A's.
remember a lot of Meepo fans when I came into high school were like, "I wonder how many titles you're going to win." Well, by the time I was a senior, it was like, God, I hope he quits having these meltdowns. You know, but anyways, let's get to something else.
To
But yeah,
piggyback.
I do feel like I implement my psychology education
Yeah,
into the doctors.
that's what I was gonna piggyback off of. Is so number one. I feel like as far as reporting or presenting somebody's case, I feel like you're more heartfelt than 99% of other people that do. And that's something that kind of makes you unique is you consider all variables before you just like lace an opinion on somebody. Um like
Well, it's just because the answer is always the gray area. There's never a black or white answer to things, and
yeah.
so many people want it to be that way. It seems like, but
Well, and the people don't realize how deep this thing, how deep wrestling goes and like the depths of your mental that it could put you in, um, you know, uh, one good example I can give as far as your approach that I agree that was very appropriate, but also very heartfelt was the Dowling. Is it Dowling? No, it's not Dowling. Dubuque Hempstead kid.
oh
Um,
yeah,
two,
yeah.
220 pounder.
Yeah, Joseph.
Um, what's up?
Joseph.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Joseph, is it Lewis?
yeah.
Man, he
The guy
looked
that
great.
got beat by
I,
the
I
guy that
watched.
got beat by Ben
I,
Keeter when
I
Keeter won his fourth title.
You said
It,
what?
it breaks my heart when I see people getting booed. I've been booed.
Yeah,
I've been booed. I've been booed when I was having a when I gassed out. I was booed. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help how you're feeling. You think that these people that are gassing out on a match, you think that they feel
They-
good at that moment? Like you think that they're going to go home feeling good because you think that your booing of them is going to help any sort of situation that's going on at all?
absolutely.
No,
And I'm not gonna lie, Josh. My first perception of that match was exactly like everybody else's. Like, what the heck is this? Like finish the match, like ignorant stuff like that. But it was your perspective that kind of like uh shaped the overall picture of how I was viewing it. You
and then
know,
the comment
if
section, of
there's
course,
anybody
he
that
had a
knows,
situation a week before where he like gave somebody the finger after a match, like the crowd, I'm guessing, and it's like they were posting this as some sort of proof that yeah, you're writing this big heartfelt article about this guy and he's not even a good kid. He gave us the finger. You know what? If you were booing me and I'm trying to do something that I've worked my whole life to be good at, and you're booing me while I'm trying to do it, don't be surprised if I give you the goddamn finger
yeah,
because that is 100 times more disrespectful. Booing somebody when they're trying to perform is 100 times more disrespectful than being given the freaking finger. If
yeah.
anything, when I read those
Well,
comments, I found him even more relatable. He's
and,
human.
and people don't weigh in on the full situation of things. Like, I noticed a lot of people from like very, and like I'm gonna sound soft when I say, but very privileged lifestyles. They're the ones that are harshest judges. Well, I never did that. I never grew up like that. Well,
Oh
okay.
well, you're like yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're a product of your environment to a certain degree. You know, some of these kids that are wrestling in this state, and I'm not saying that I don't know nothing about his background. I don't have to, like it.
Really good. He won a postseason,
Your article
preseason national title.
could not have been more perfect about just like weighing in on the whole situation because you know him deeper than just being the guy on the mat. You know.
Yeah, I talked to him a lot at the Fort. Yeah, I interviewed him at Fort Madison. Um, I'm familiar, and plus I went to college at Loras, and I still know a lot of people from Dubuque.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of inside stuff that he wasn't blessed with the most fortunate of circumstances, and he, he doesn't need any goddamn booing in his life. He's already struggling to. He's already struggling through an adrenaline dump as it is. Like
Well,
this
dude,
kid doesn't need that.
some people's biggest battles aren't on the wrestling mat; it's at home. And there's some people that will never ever understand that and never try to. And that's like probably one of the most frustrating things is I see so much shit talking on social media, just about like the personality of some people, but there's a lack of consideration of who this person is, how they grew up, the situation that had. I'm not saying that some stuff is excusable. There's certain behaviors that are inexcusable, but I think the lack of consideration shows your heartlessness as a person.
Yeah.
Especially somebody that's gone through it and wrestled knows how freaking tough it can be sometimes. And so that was my first point. Is
It
I feel
was
like because of your psychology and your experience on top
social
of
work. You got a social
your
work
your
minor.
social work experience, I feel like you have a different perspective and a overall uh you have an overall more enlightened way of viewing things, when it comes to people. Um on top of that, sometimes I feel like it takes our deepest failures to create our our most beautiful upcomings.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, you're obviously having a lot of success with this. I feel like you are much happier than I've seen you in the past, especially the last 10 years, maybe 15. I was a little kid 15 years ago. And this is probably the
Yeah,
happiest
old
I've
brother Josh hasn't always been the happiest guy all the time.
no,
Very
no.
goofy, but not always happy.
There's times where I mean, like, be honest with you, dude, downright miserable to be around. Right. And I can't even really say that I blamed you in certain, situations and stuff. But yeah, it's just, really good to it's really good to see you on your upcoming. You're on your come up. I guess I should say.
Yeah, getting through that divorce is a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not to get too personal. It was interesting, Shay, going back to Joseph Lewis. After the match with Keeter and Joseph Lewis, I took a picture with both guys. Nobody even thinks to take a picture with the guy that loses to the four-timer. And if you're to post something on Ben Keeter, for sure going to get at least 2,000 likes on my page, anyways. With Joseph Lewis, though, I didn't know, but it was crazy. That one got more love than the one that I had with Ben Keeter, and the one with Ben Keeter had like 3.5 thousand likes. I want to say the one with Joseph Lewis had like 4,000,
Yeah.
and I was hoping that he saw that, because that's a different vibe from people than booing. It breaks my heart when I see that. Marshall Cothey got booed when he wrestled Nate Herda. Can't hear it in the video, but I sure heard it.
I've gotten booed before. I got booed at it's actually partially due to you. I got booed at Quincy.
Oh shit! After I got thrown out.
Yeah, you got thrown out. I didn't get thrown out.
I got thrown out by that guy. Looked like Count Dracula.
I got hit with that BS stalling call.
That was the stupidest call I've ever seen in my life.
And then
only a weak-minded person would not. That kid was laying on the ground like a slug.
What?
That kid was laying on his belly like a slug, literally just trying not to get pinned. And he called for stalling.
Yeah, and I was running wings and stuff. I think when you got thrown out was that call when I turned his chin over. Like I was running a wing a certain direction. I was running it the opposite direction of the wing. Just had the wing in, and I was gonna go in north-south. So all I did was I took his chin, I pulled it towards me so he could go to his back, and then I went north-south. And he called me. He gave the other kid a point saying that it was unnecessary roughness, and that's when you lost it. You lost it, and luckily it was the first round of that tournament.
I've never lost it like that. As bad. I lost it real bad when Justin and Dominic Moyer had that match. God, I hated that call. I lost it. I lost my shit when and this was a match that you were wrestling where you weren't in any jeopardy to lose. I mean, you were killing this kid, but it was just it almost felt like we're just being disrespected, because this was the Quincy Wrestling Tournament in Illinois. We were one of 2 or 3 Iowa teams there, and
we were the only one that year.
I'm not kidding you when I say Iowa does not get very much love from the Illinois refs.
No,
they almost made it obvious. In fact, a lot of the people and the wrestlers from Illinois, you have to kind of earn their respect too. They would seem to not like us at first because we were Iowans, and then when you get to talking to them a little bit, it's like, they're kind of dorky, but they're all right, I guess. But yeah, let's get to something kind of funny.
Okay.
All right. Before I pull this up,
I will say I'm gonna have to log out here soon. So
okay.
Let's talk about this real quick, and then
let's do a commentary on Justin versus Jacob Nag in the semis after this, and then I'll get to my other stuff.
Okay.
I didn't even plan on doing that until you agreed to come on. I was like, I don't even know if you guys have seen that match.
I've seen that match. It's a dandy match.
All right.
Oh my god.
So.
Oh my god! You're gonna talk about the ugliest of us girls. Me.
You are the ugliest. You're the ugliest girl, Shay. All right. Okay. First of all, to all of you guys that are watching this, can you even tell which brother's who? Actually, can you even tell what this is? This is that collage that I was talking about earlier, in which I put all 4 of us Swafford brothers as girls in the same collage. And I got we used an app that changes our faces into a girl's face. And that's what I used to make the app. On the top left corner is our, I don't know, I would say our intelligent looking, sassy brother, Justin.
Our voluptuous looking brother, Justin.
She looks preppy. On the top right corner, it looks like the promiscuous homecoming queen, Brennan. On the bottom right, it looks like a woman that you may encounter at like in Vegas or something. How would you critique yourself as a chick, Shay? You're in the bottom right.
Very horse-like.
Yeah, you do look like a horse, like a cross
Very
between a
mule-like.
horse and yeah.
I'm a stallion in my own regards.
I don't think I would date you as a chick, Shay. I'm sorry.
You
And on the
would?
bottom left is who is, in my opinion, the best looking of the four. Me. I think I'm the hottest Swafford girl.
I don't even think it's up for debate. I think it's either Justin in the top left or Brennan in the top right.
Dude, what's wrong with mine? Look at that
Dude,
smile. Look at that smile.
I'm sorry. Like, definitely I'm the ugliest. Like, no doubts about it. 100%.
Look at those cheekbones.
I'm sorry. You don't hold a candle to those two smoke shows up top.
Justin's hair is not nearly as beautiful as my hair.
What are you talking about, my man?
Look at it. It's parted right in the middle.
So
No way.
Okay.
Okay, to any of you guys watching out there, which of these chicks is the hottest one?
They're gonna probably. I'm gonna say the most of the votes are gonna go top right.
They're gonna go bottom left because they want an article written about them on Pin Doctors. No, I'm like,
get those sympathy points.
when I look at mine, I see like the valedictorian, the pretty, like the pretty, like nerdy. I don't know, the pretty like smart type. I don't know. What do you see? I know I know I've met a chick like that before.
I mean,
and it's me, which is weird, but I just can't place what that is.
I mean, you're not unattractive as a girl.
Thank you, Shay.
I'm not. Look. I'm not gonna sit here and say that my brothers, because these are my brothers. I'm not gonna sit here and say that any of you are attractive, but you are not unattractive. You're not repulsive as a girl.
Look at those perfectly tweezed eyebrows.
Yeah. It's
and
almost like
perfect,
it's almost like
beautiful
white did it for you.
Kurt Van Buren dude says none.
Oh, that's such bullshit.
That's a really nice guy. I met him at Ottumwa, I think.
Oh, really? He's from Van Buren?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I've actually got a bunch of pictures of him and his staff that I need to post sometime.
It's kind of around me, really. I mean,
he's actually a subscriber. One of the not very many. There's only like I've been promoting that thing since August. And I've only got like 120. But these are the people that I'm gonna remember forever because the way I look at it, the only reason I've been able to even get by on ramen noodles is because of these guys.
Yeah.
So, if my time's coming, I will certainly remember those who helped me out. And on that note, whoever sends the most stars my way gets a free T-shirt. So, and these T-shirts are going to be worth something someday.
Yeah, because get your free T-shirt.
Because there's not very many of them. Because not very many of them get sold. Let's get to some comments real quick.
It's like sports cars, like it's like baseball cards.
Dude, there's some nice star setting tonight. That's awesome. Brian Mitchell, thank you for the stars. Nathan Odmanson, set your light to make Dan Gable happy. That is all. No, I've actually never met Dan Gable.
I used to wrestle Seth growing up
around
a
him,
lot.
I just, when I'm around a guy like that, I just, I feel weird bothering them because what I notice is basically people standing in line all day to talk to him. You get guys like Kale Sanderson stuff. It's like, I'm not going to bother you. I don't know. I just, because I think it would really, really tear me up if I got a bad response from one of them, Like,
yeah.
Get away from me, annoying little bastard.
Matt
Siebel. I used to wrestle with Seth Davison growing up a lot. It's a cool dude right there.
Seth Davidson.
Seth was a sixth placer at state in Adam Drain's bracket the year that Adam won it, I think.
Very nice guy.
Headlock from hell.
Oh, God. He was so dangerous. It was a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch.
Todd Phillips, congrats to Shay on earning the head wrestling coach position at Cardinal.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Madonna Weiland. This is our cousin on the McLaughlin side. Um, her dad was our grandpa McLaughlin's brother, and
Nice.
yeah, and her brother Gary McLaughlin was a state champ for Hampton Dumont.
Oh yeah, you've
Yeah.
you've brought that up to me before.
Yes. Sawyer Gehring says, "Tell she's from his favorite middle school student, Sawyer."
He says, "Tell Shay hi."
Oh.
Sometimes autocorrect does that. That's one of my 8th grade students. So on that DC trip, it's actually a school facilitated trip. So he's one of the ones that I'll be chaperoning over.
Rocky Hamilton says, "Boo." Okay,
Always a
I got
hater,
a couple
Rocky.
thoughts on
Why
this.
you always gotta hate? Why can't you just?
Oh,
I don't
love
know.
this guy.
Oh,
This is my guy right here.
I
One of
love
my
Rocky.
favorites.
You know
Rocky. Rocky is probably the last guy in the world that I would probably ever see booing. This is a joke. Rocky's a good dude. He doesn't do people dirty like that. But my 2 thoughts on this is, one, I'm glad he's out there watching. Like that means a lot to me, Rocky. And 2, I saw him get booed once when he was in high school. He had a match against like Ben Thompson for Meepo at the Meepo invite, and he had a call that didn't go his way or something. And we say he kicked a chair, and he had where'd you go, Shay?
Sorry, I'm muted for a sec. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I feel like I'm talking to a black space.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second.
I'll just talk to your like little face on your collage.
Josh, you didn't tell me that Kurt Urok was the one that commented.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have not caught that. Sorry. He texted.
Anyways,
me.
Rocky won't be booing people. He's good. He wouldn't do that.
The first time I met him, it was actually at USA Nationals. He helped coach me.
Mm. Cool. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. Philip Cleese. This was one of my practice partners from 1st through 8th grade. Have you ever met Philip Cleese? He's like a brother to me.
Never met him, but I met his father.
Got second at state for Burlington as a sophomore. Anyways, he said Muscatine booed me, and I gave him the DX suck it. Dude, I heard this story so many times from about everybody that was there other than Cleese. So cool. It feels awesome to see Cleese confirm that this actually happened.
Yeah.
There's we called him Robo Cleese. There's nothing in the world that's like this. That's like that, man. He's his own breed, and I love him for it. He's the type of guy on your team that people from other schools hate his guts because he's so mouthy to everybody else. But if he's on your team, you love him. He'll have your back quicker than anybody.
I got a funny story about his dad. So I got a fat speeding ticket, and I had to take a driving class.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to the driving class, and I sit next to this big fella, and that ended up being Denny. Is it Dan Denny?
Mm-hmm.
So that ended up being Dan Denny. And so the first thing that we had to do when we were in this driving class is talk about what we did wrong. And then this lady sat there and reprimanded us for what we did wrong, which I didn't see the point of at all. It was just like, okay, we know why we're here. Why are we getting you know what I mean? Why are we getting reprimanded for it? Anyway, to go around the circle. And Philip's dad was just like, well, if you ask me, what I got in trouble for was complete bullshit. Because the cop had to speed up to catch him. It just he has this like elaborate story. So immediately I was like, I like this guy. Immediately I was like, I like this guy. And so I talked to him like at the 4-hour break. And like, again, nobody wants to be there. I was like, wait, so you said that your last name, or no, that's not what he said that he asked me, he's like, your last name's Swafford, right? I said, yeah. He goes, are you related to Mark Swafford? And
no, never heard of him.
And I was like, yeah, that's my dad. He goes, oh, I'll be damned.
And then he just like him.
He goes right into like the past with Philip and all that stuff. So then I started researching Philip, and I was like, you know, because his dad was talked very highly of you, Philip.
Philip
and-
beat a ton of guys by just frustrating the shit out of them. He would go in for a shot and he'd cling on a leg, and he wouldn't, like, he'd just have a death grip on it. Wouldn't really be doing much with it. And right when the guy would get frustrated and get out of position a little bit out of frustration, boom! That's when that's when he would made it to the state finals doing stuff like that. I saw him make the AAU state finals doing that stuff. I love Cleese.
sound like
He's
a
doing
Danny.
MMA now.
I love the fact that he's a supporter still. But anyway,
He's
your
also
dad's
he's
your dad's hilarious. Just like his like just everything about your dad was funny, super funny. And he like argued. The first thing he did was argue with the teacher, because she sat there and like she was like reprimanding him, like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done this. And he's just like, well, I don't see the point of this. And immediately started arguing with her.
You're never going to meet a Cleese that doesn't speak their mind, and that is a fact.
Yep.
All right, we got to get to some other ones so we can go to the next topic. My biggest fan, Tiny Tim Miller, he says, "Don't you sleep?" And the answer to that is, I either sleep way too much or I don't. I think that when I get things stable to where I feel like I can consistently provide for my family, then I can start posting some articles that are a little bit less erratic and less rushed. Take my time with them, because at this point I'm not there, not close to being there, and it scares the shit out of me because I've got 3 girls and I've got them by myself. And I don't have a job. I quit my job to do this. I mean, I quit my job because it was ruining me, but that still a good decision. I needed to figure something else out. But this is my job now. So, and on that note, send some stars over my way if you want to help me put ramen noodles on the table.
Those
All
stars
right.
are key.
Matt Siebold, state champ out of Burlington High School. He actually beat Stephen Holloway at Quincy, didn't he?
Yep.
Quincy Invite that we were talking about. Didn't he beat Stephen Holloway in the finals one year?
No, it was the semifinals.
Oh, okay. He's I think he's an assistant coach and the strength coordinator at Bettendorf High School now. But he says, I know we went over a couple times when I was in high school. Wrestled Holloway once in the in the semifinals, which should have been a finals match.
I remember that because Austin Boyd beat Drew Buster in the semis, and then Matt Siebold beat Steve in the semis, like a little bit afterwards. So it was like kind of a bad round for us. That was my freshman year.
Dude, you know who just chimed in? You won't believe this. And you know what? I can't tell too many stories about this guy because I literally just can't say him because it would probably offend people. Just because if you hang out with this guy, it's going to be a crazy time.
Yep.
Boom, Kevin Connolly.
Oh, Kevin.
One of the craziest friends I've got at a Wapello High School. He wrestled for Wapello. I want to say he graduated with my ex-wife. I think that this is his suggestion for a name for the show. Bud Light presents Real Men Genius. Well, I don't know, man. Alcohol has kind of lost its I don't have any desire to drink anymore. Isn't that weird? You guys had all those concerns with me drinking 5 years ago. Now I can't even be pushed into doing it. So it's definitely not going to be Bud Light presents. And I don't know. I wouldn't say genius either, because I'm certainly not a genius.
I
I don't know.
I think he's making a joke with like, have you seen the whole Bud Light controversy recently?
No. Oh wait. Oh. Yes, with a transgender. Is that the proper nomenclature?
Yeah.
I can't keep up, man.
They sponsored like a transgender or something, and like there's a bunch of people upset about it.
Dude, since I started the Pin Doctors, I've received thousands and thousands of PMs from people, and I've received one death threat. Do you remember what that was about?
Well, what was that about?
Well, I posted that picture of me hugging mom after I won the quarters at my quarterfinal match at AAU State as a 7th grader. I was wearing that leopard singlet that was real short cut with the tights under it. I'm hugging my mom, and I wrote in the caption, it was like, I was trying to be funny, man. Like, I know it's a this joke didn't really have, it was kind of tasteless. But I wrote a caption of like that said something along the lines of, in reality, this is me after winning the quarterfinals at state, but you're probably thinking that it's some trainee hooker at Vegas.
Oh God.
And this dude sent me a death threat because I used the word trainee. I didn't know it was bad. I didn't know that it was I didn't know it was a drug.
See, this is why I stay away from politics and all that. It's just, I don't know.
I don't even pay attention to it, man.
Oh, it's not worth like. I'm sorry,
It's
man.
all orchestrated.
It really is. It's distraction, and it's not worth tying your entire feelings into. So I think that's as far as we should keep it, to be honest.
My number one rule on Penn Doctors is no politics.
Yeah.
You talk politics, you get a warning. Do it again, you're out. Because I hate politics.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And I'm not really a big my way or the highway guy, but I am with that. And
Yeah.
This is mine, and I say no politics. Madonna Weiland, Gary McLaughlin, our cousin, got booed after his finals match at state. It sucks. Our mom was watching that match on TV with her and Madonna and Gary's grandma in the hospital.
Really?
Yeah, that's where my mom watched it with Madonna's grandma.
That's crazy.
But after the match, he went to shake the other coach's hand, and the coach wouldn't shake his hand. After some minutes, they announced on the PA why the coach couldn't do that. Man, that sucks. Like in that clip you see of Gary in the finals, you see him going out in the crowd and hugging his family and everything. Kind of sucks knowing that there's people that were actually not happy in that moment. I mean, which obviously there were, but to the point where they're booing him? What do they have to boo him about? He won that match fair and square.
Let's talk about for a second, and I'm not saying that Gary did anything wrong. I have no problem with shaking the other coach's hand. I'm a little bit conflicted with like once you get to junior high or higher, just like having my kids shake the other coach's hand, because you know how it is, man. Tensions are high, and like sometimes the last thing a coach wants to do is shake the other opponent's hand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that
talked a little
my
bit
whole
about
philosophy is if you shake the other coach's hand after you win, you better as hell do it after you lose.
Yes. Yep.
You're not going to go shake the hand to just let the other coach know how happy you are. Nuh-uh. You're going to do it for sportsmanship.
I always have my like little kids do it because that's just it's like physical stuff for the little ones is very important, man. Like getting them to understand sportsmanship early, understanding respect for your opponent, respect for your coaches. But I think anything like older than that, I don't know. It's just a little bit different. Now you'll never catch me being disrespectful to a kid that's coming up to shake my hand. I'll take my loss like a man, or we'll take our loss like a man.
You can tell when a coach doesn't want to do it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I always like.
Not every.
It's always funny seeing guys come up to the Brands brothers.
Not every coach is me,
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, but that is nuts. The fact that a crowd would boo somebody over, that's stupid. That's so dumb.
We need to get a McLaughlin reunion going again.
High school kid. Can you believe that? That's
so yeah, Madonna. We need to get a McLaughlin reunion going again. Like, dude, tons of wrestlers on that side of our family. Nick Weber, Tucker Weber, Gary McLaughlin, Jordan McLaughlin. Just
our family goes deep on all cylinders when it comes to this sport.
We have a cousin on our dad's side named James Lang. So we have a great grandma Lang. It's a distant cousin, but he was a state champ. And the guy that got fourth in his bracket, Nick Weber, our other cousin.
Also a beast.
Yeah, also a state champ a couple of years later. But we had two cousins on that podium.
Just a few more, Josh, and I got to log out.
All right. Do you want to watch Justin versus Neg and comment on that? The reason I wanted, well, we can do that at a different time, Shay. Let's go to something else. Let's go to we are going to go to the oh, damn it, I pressed the wrong button. window. Look at how good I'm getting at this. All right, so we've got a new dog in the family.
Dad's new dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Has
What
he
is that?
named
A
it?
chocolate lab? I have no idea. I just wanted to give that dog some love real quick. Another thing I had brought up. I want to talk about these guys. Oh, I haven't brought it up yet, have I? All right. These guys are the lucky winners of some of my little trivia things that I've had going lately. And I'd like to thank all three of them from the bottom of my heart for partaking in them, because if you did, that either means that you're tuning into this, or that means that you're a subscriber, because I only do these things for the subscribers generally. If you're wanting to win a free T-shirt, you gotta show me the ramen noodles, baby. But Derek Shipley, Mark Folkers, and Ryan Crooks. But Derek Shipley won a trivia contest. His son Emmett's wrestling. He brought him to one of your practices.
Yep.
Some talent there, isn't there? Emmett Shipley.
Oh yeah. He's got a lot of little natural ability. And I love how Derek approaches, like, just his whole, just Emmett in general. I see that, man. It's
Keeps
hard.
things in perspective.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking because I see a lot of dads and just coaches in general at that age are just like way too much, like they're screaming at their kids in first and second grade after they get off the mat. That's no good for anybody, dude. And at the very least, that's going to create a lot of resentment. Derek, not that way at all, man. He's very encouraging, just a great father, like just a great positive father figure for Emmett, I've noticed, and it's just like, I don't know, he's good stuff. I've gotten to know Derek a little bit better throughout this year, just with Emmett being in it now, and his son's got a lot of promise, and he's going to continue to keep having fun and keep coming after it because of the way Derek's bringing him up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna review one short one, Jay.
A comment or what?
A YouTube video. We're gonna comment on the 1985 Unlimited division. Have you ever watched any videos that I put up on YouTube, Shay, from when they had the Unlimited class, to where guys can come in weighing 550 pounds?
Talk about super heavyweight.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about? Is this gonna be Nadler?
It's gonna be mostly Danny Stefani versus Lee Schwer, and Bob Nadler. There's a little clip of him versus Saxton of Emmetsburg. Then Erpendale's couple versus Metcalf. I think there's only a skit of that, but it's mostly going to be Danny Stefani versus Lee Schwer. And it was the second year in a row that they actually met in the finals, and Stefani pinned him that year and then won his third state title in '85 when he beat Schwer a second time. But this one was really, really controversial at the end, and I kind of want to get what your take is on it. I want to pick your brain in terms of, do you think Lee Schwer got ripped out of a state championship? Because I think it bothers him to this day, and I don't blame him. I don't blame, if I felt firmly that something special was taken from me and it was beyond my control, I'd feel bitter about it too.
Yep.
He remembers damn well how hard he worked every day in practice, and just to not agree with the way it went or how it was called. But I want to see what your take is on it. These are two really, really freaking good heavyweights, man. Danny Stefani, he won 2 or 3 state titles, and that's a huge, huge thing for a heavyweight. And he passed away a few years ago, and I've just heard Danny Stefani's the guy that I did the Doppelganger that looked like Jack Black.
Is it Stefani or Stefani?
Stefani, right?
How's it spelled?
We'll see how they say it. All right, let me get that on. And I'm not gonna go through the entire. I'll probably skip a little bit, because I know you got to go because you hate us.
I don't.
Okay. All right, can you see it?
Yep.
And to any of you guys that are watching out there, please let us know how the audio is coming in because I have been struggling mightily with that. I can't get it figured out. That's the reason I'm wearing a new headset today. I want to see if this one's any better. All right. So this is 1985 super heavyweight division. Dan Stefani versus Lee Schwer and a couple other ones. Dan Stefani the year before was like 420 pounds, I think, and he lost 60 pounds to get where he's at as a senior that year, and he's still huge. Man, I feel sorry for these super heavyweight guys that had to wrestle in those low cut 80 singlets because I mean, it looks so uncomfortable, dude.
Yeah.
Like with Danny Stefani, he looks like he's wearing like a light.
What school is he from? Because already I'm seeing the color of the singlet.
North Central Manly.
Okay.
Wait, or was it?
It kind of looks cool. I mean, I like the look of the
North Central Manly, North Central. I get him and the Northwood Kensett. I get those two mixed up for some reason. All right, let's go ahead and watch some of this. This is a repeat match. The year before it was not close, but this year though they split. I think in sectionals and districts. So they're 1-1 against each other coming into this one.
Each time. Now this is the
Stefani's in the blue.
And
Lee Schwer's in the black.
Stefani won for third.
Lee Schwer at Tripoli. Tripoli now shares with Denver. How's everything coming in? I think I might have to turn this down.
So he's been able to save it for the big meet. Certainly has.
How can you hear it,
An
Chad?
interesting situation, I think, is the fact that
God damn it, I can barely hear you now.
Is there any,
as an ex-coach.
I can't hear you. Let me mute this.
Hold on.
All right, now say something.
We're going to fill in a 2A up there. You see on the right, Bob Nadler was 435
I can't hear you.
pounds. Osceola Clark. He's wrestling against Dave Saxton of Emmitsburg. And then our 3A match is between Jeff Coppel of
Walt.
Urbandale and
All right, now say something.
Rich Metcalf. Now, that's what you were saying. Very clear out of the leg. What I was going to say is that Stefani used to weigh 400 pounds. 2 years ago, he weighed 400 pounds. Now he weighs 300.
All right, try it again.
So here's the young man.
I can't hear you at all. Can you hear me? Nod your head if you
Losing
can.
75 pounds in a couple of years.
Either shake your head or nod your head. Can you hear me?
And I'll tell you, the 435 pounder
Weird.
just ended his match.
Let me change my microphone. We're just going to have to skip this part. We'll do it a different time when I get a grip on things. All right. So let's get to one more slide. Let's discuss the Lisbon head coaching position that's open.
Oh.
Figure that'd be something that you could probably wait. Hey, start talking. I don't know if I can hear you yet.
Can you hear me now?
I can't.
Let me turn my mic on. Can you hear me now?
Talk again.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Dude, you know what the problem was?
What?
When I put it on mute on the video, it muted you too.
Okay. That'll be something we have to work around later on. And maybe because you're planning on coming to Flores and doing one over here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can watch that. We can watch like the full 13 minutes while you're over here. So
Okay.
anyway, yeah.
Let's watch Justin's little highlight reel real quick that I made. It's only like 45 seconds long. Nobody liked it, so I took it down. I think what happened was Facebook identified that I used a Beck song, and when it catches me doing that, what it does is it basically just cock blocks me from having anybody see it. It's like, oh, you stole somebody's music to make this video, huh? Well, we're not going to let anybody even see that it comes
It's
up.
like a copyright infringement.
Yeah. But thing is I wasn't monetizing off of it. So they just basically say, okay, well, you made this cute little video, but nobody's going to see it because we won't let them. happens sometimes. But it's not going to happen on my live broadcast. Let's watch our brother Justin doing a clinic at your wrestling room in Cardinal High School.
Yep.
And give me your honest feedback as far as what you think of these highlight reels, because I love doing these things. I have a blast doing them. Thing is it's just not very productive. It's basically just goofing off. But if I'm making those videos, you can about guarantee that I'm having a blast. And I just kind of want to pick your brain on it. It was awesome to see Justin on the mat again. He hasn't really lost too much, you know?
Yep.
Crank it.
We got a time bomb. We got a time bomb. We got a time bomb. Nah, 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 nah. We got a warning light. We got a warning light. We pull the plug out and we nah, nah, nah. Time bomb, take it. Time bomb, take it. Got a time bomb, take it. Time bomb, take it. Time bomb, take it. There's a time bomb, take it. We got a time bomb.
That was harmless, right?
Yep.
The guy wants to.
Good to see him throw me around like 100 times, like within 45 seconds. That's cool.
Yeah, that would never happen with me, Shay. I can still kick that kid's ass. People used to always say, I was a one-time placer, and he was a world beater, and a state champ and everything. But he was younger than me by a year and a half. And people used to always ask me, like, what's it like having a little brother that can probably beat you up? And I used to look at them like, dude, that couldn't be any further than the truth. And he would be the first to freaking admit it. He had to resort to being dirty just to defend himself. Like I had like 50 to 100 pounds on him at all times. Like, if Justin were to step to me at any stage of our lives, is basically just, and he would have to like do something cheap, like bury his head on my shin. And,
size matters. I mean, like, to a certain degree, like, you can't really. There's a reason why there's weight classes. There's a reason why there's weight divisions in the UFC. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like somebody could be really tough and be a little guy. At the end of the day, if somebody's 50 to 100 pounds bigger than you, it's just like, you're gonna have to make up for a hell of a lot of leeway there.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Especially like you talk about fighting. Like, fighting for sure, man. Like, it makes a difference. Weight makes a huge difference.
Well, when I used to look at them like, well, I'm not some slouch. Like, what do you think? You're talking to some weenie? I'm not going to let my little brother beat me up. I'm 40 years old and I still won't let that happen. Not that there would ever be a reason. Yeah, that, the big oldest brother bear here, that I love you guys more than anything in the world, but I'm definitely not going to let you guys beat me up.
Let's be honest. At your guys' age, what would you guys even fight about?
We got snippy with each other a couple years ago about something.
Oh, well, but it didn't come to blows though.
Dude, when we live with each other, we fight about food and we fight about him taking my clothes.
You and I got like really close to blows when we were living at mom and dad's at the same time at one point.
Dude, you and me almost came to blows that time that Josh Portillo came into town.
Yeah,
and we went out on the river. Josh Portillo spent the entire night trying to paddle upstream on the Mississippi River because I almost sank the boat.
Yeah, there was that time.
Well, Dad always takes the plug out of the boat before he leaves, so he can drain the water out as he drives home. And I forgot that he did that, and I didn't put the plug back in when I put the boat in. So it's like that was the first time that Portillo had ever been on the Mississippi. I mean, his first question he asked when we got there. So that right there is Illinois. I'm like, yeah, that's where we live. We live right by Illinois, and we get on the water. First, the instant that Josh Portillo gets on the Mississippi River for the first time ever, we're sinking. because my dumbass forgot to put the plug in the boat because Dad's dumbass didn't put it back in. Anyways, we're gonna talk about Lisbon wrestling.
Josh, I'm gonna get going, man. I really gotta go.
Okay.
Like
All
I said,
right.
if I sit here and talk about this, I'll be up till 11. 11 turns to 11:30.
This will be the last thing. Last thing, because this is a big one, dude.
I'll give you a
I
3
got a big
minute.
thought. Imagine, okay, so Lisbon, this Lisbon job. How would you feel applying for this one? This is a position where if you got the role, you would be stepping into something where there's a built-in tradition, there's a built-in fan base, there's a built-in, I'm guessing, youth club that's gone on for years. There's a built-in rabid following. You won't find a more rabid fan base than Lisbon High School Wrestling. I mean, and I'm not saying they're more than Don Bosco or any other program. I'm just saying that, they're one of these schools. They're one of these schools that does it the right way.
Culture matters.
And I don't have any hate for any other height. So those petty beefs don't even apply to me. So you assume this role and you're following someone, Brad Smith, who just retired, who is quite possibly the greatest high school wrestling coach to come from our state. Do you feel excited about the opportunity and the potential to make a name for yourself at a program like this? Or are you feeling the freaking pressure to succeed quickly? Because if you don't, you're going to have a pretty mad fan base that's used to success.
Excitement. It's got to be excitement. If you're going to allow the pressure to get to you, then that's not the position for you to begin with. Because you got to expect negative opinions. You got to expect you got to expect negativity to roll in just with the positivity in any position that you're taking like that, especially a role like that. Okay, you got some big shoes to fill. It's not there's no shoes to fill. It's somebody that is highly successful is stepping down. Now it's your turn. So I think allowing yourself to think that you have shoes to fill is just toxic towards your own growth. There's no such shoes to fill. You got your own shoes to fill. That's it. You don't have anybody else's.
And if somebody if somebody doesn't even want to give you a chance to show what you can do, then that's not your problem. That's theirs. Let them be miserable. We'll be excited. Brad actually coached Lisbon from like 1970 something to 1990 or so. You know who replaced him as head coach for a few years? When he went off? Chris Lembeck.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Chris Lembeck knows his wrestling.
He does. He was Ryan Leisure's dad once told me that he was like, when they were in the schoolboy division, he was like the best guy in the entire Northeast. Like he was like the super stud at all these regional tournaments. Like everybody knew Chris Lembeck when they were youth wrestlers. Like just crazy good. And I think he went on to become an All-American for Wisconsin or something.
For UNI.
Oh, was it UNI?
I believe so.
Yeah, you're probably right. He's a character, man. I've hung out with him a few times, but I want to say he won at least one state title. Let me look there. A couple, 92 and 93. But he had a tough audience, man. Like, that at a program like Lisbon, they go by the vanilla ice mentality of anything less than the best is a felony. So if you don't win some state titles there, you become a felon.
That's a real fear.
I just love using
like it's either one or the other. You're state champ or you're a felon.
Yeah.
But with the Lisbon job, I hope I have total faith that whoever takes it over is going to be very competent. Is going to do a really good job there. And going to kick some butt. You're going to continue on with the Lisbon legacy. It's hard for me to imagine with a place with as rich of a tradition as Lisbon has, that it's just going to fall off. It won't. They are not going to just disappear.
Even if they have
mark my words, it's not going to happen. The amount of people,
too much tradition.
The amount of people that are in that community that still support what's going on there will not allow that to happen.
Well, it's part of their lifestyle there.
I wonder. Okay, and this is just me spitballing because I don't know what his degree is or anything like that. I know that Carter Happel is the assistant coach at Cornell, right? I think he's the assistant. I don't think he's the head quite yet. Now, I bet Carter is very happy there, but dude, who would be a better guy for that job than Carter freaking Happel?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mediapolis
Just-
blood, baby. His
this
mom's
is
a Meepo girl.
Medical guys. I mean, like this is
His
not
mom
me.
is our neighbor, Shay. His mom was Justin and I's neighbor growing up.
Yeah. Oh, great family, man. I mean, dude, I can't speak more highly of that family.
I love the Happel family.
Just awesome. Just
I was
incredible.
so pumped up for Quincy placing as a senior.
Yeah.
Because he qualified 4 times and he hadn't placed going into it. You got 2 older brothers that are 4-timers and you haven't placed yet. I was so happy for him.
Part of that coaching staff. I actually just talked to him this year. He's very he's more stoic than I remember him being, because I came up to him at districts actually in Sigourney, because Lisbon's ours, and I came up to him and I go, "Do you recognize me?" And he goes, "Yeah, I recognize you. You're Shay." And I was like, this is the second year in a row that we're in the same district and everything. And I was just like, really, like, I don't know. We hadn't talked the year before. I hadn't really been around though, really either, to be fair. Like not around him. So I was just, I made me really curious if he still remembered me. And so we talked for a little bit at districts. Man, again, I can't speak more highly about that family. Just great stuff. Just a great family, great tradition. That family, generation to generation, is going to continue to be successful in whatever they do. Not just wrestling, man. I mean, they got that winning mentality. They just got it about them. They got it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, let's do the comments real quick, and I'm gonna log off also. All right, because nobody's even on really anymore. So, this picture that's up right now is my last high school match ever, and it was against the toughest guy I ever wrestled my entire life, Danny Ellsbury. His daughter won state this year at girls wrestling state.
Nice.
I've told this story about 100 times, and I'll tell it about 1,000,000 more times. I can't say enough how tough Danny Ellsbury is. Like, toughest dude I ever ran into. And I also want to do a let's get to the comments before we log off. Brent Myers, Lee Schwer is a good dude. Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit. Yeah, I know he's from Tripoli. Did I accidentally say Denver Tripoli? If I did, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, this is when we had the audio issues. Brad Wood, thanks for tuning in, dude. He can hear us both. That's good. Kurt, if you're still out there listening right now, Kurt says, Shay, that could not have been said better.
And by the way, Kurt, so to be fair, the way that Josh pronounced your name the first time did not resonate with me. So yeah, it didn't click with me that he said the name Kurt Urok. I know exactly who you are, and I recognize you. So he sent me
how do you pronounce it?
The live saying, "Hey, how can you not recognize me?" Or you know what I mean? Like a little disappointed. It was a joke, it was lighthearted. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I want to give a real quick happy birthday shout out to somebody. I want to make a routine of this. Let me remove this. Stop. This will be the last thing I do. Stop screen. Share screen. Window. Oh, why isn't that fucking thing up? Oops, I need to watch that. There it is. All right, Brad Honnold. He's the head coach out at Nottoway Valley. He was a state runner-up for Clarinda. He also competed collegiately for Nebraska. It is his birthday today. So if you guys know him, or if you don't know him, I don't know. If you see him or if you hear from him, you've got an hour and 19 minutes to wish him a happy birthday. So
happy birthday, Brad.
And his sons are badasses, dude. Asa, Eric, and Ashton. It's a big name that we're going to have in our state for years to come. And being led by their dad. they're in good hands. Nice guy. I've met him a few times through here. He's a really nice guy.
Nice. Maybe I'll meet him sometime. Just coaching.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. You're probably gonna meet a lot of people, Shay.
Meet all kinds of goofballs in this career. So many different people. Anyway, yeah. Have a good one, Brad. Happy birthday.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to tune out also. I think about 3/4 of you guys have already tuned out. This feels like a more proper goodbye than just. So, Shay, it's good seeing you, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll look.
Oh, somebody left an angry face. Who was that? Oh, somebody's angry. I always love it when that happens.
Whatever. Haters
It's
gonna and ainers gonna ain't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I probably said the HE double hockey sticks a few too many times. Rub somebody the wrong way. It's not the word that matters; it's the context.
It is what it is. Anyway,
All right.
You
All
have
right,
a
well,
good
peace
one.
out, guys.
Let me know when you can plan on sliding over here, man. I'll get this place nice and set up. I'll have the Sublime tapestry in the back. I'll have a good design in the back and everything. I'll get the place souped up for you. So just let me know when you can plan on sliding over here. But with that being said, man, thanks for having me on, and you have a good night.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on at 10 minutes notice.
For sure.
All right, bud.
See you later, bud.
Bye,
Love ya.
everybody. Thanks for tuning in.